has it.
Call out a name, or you gossiping, or you chatty patty.
I'm gossiping.
This is the Rumor Report.
I mean, I guess we on the Breakfast Club. This is where the tea spills, right?
Right. On the Breakfast Club.
Now, shout out to Pharrell. Pharrell came back to the 757 with his own festival. It's called Something in the Water. And over the weekend, he had so many different performances from Clips, Chris Brown, De La Soul, Grace Jones, Lil Wayne, Wu-Tang, Busta Rhymes, and so many more. The festival brings out a lot of people, always safe, and does a lot for the city. Now, day 3 was canceled due to the weather because the weather was just disgusting. And it was also streaming. So shout out to the whole 757. Now, one of the dope things that I seen over the weekend was, well, we can start off with Chris Brown. Chris Brown was performing. Now, Pharrell also gives Chris Brown his flowers before the performance.
Little bro, listen, there's only one you. There's only one you. We're gonna get his man his flowers again. Make some noise for Virginia's own. The dancingest, singingest, craziest video making, singing dude in R&B and pop music until now. Make some noise for our brother Chris Brown.
Yeah, Chris Brown came out and killed it. Now, also, what I thought was probably one of the best performances of the weekend, what I've seen so far, and I think he's probably the best performer that I've ever seen as far as hip hop is concerned. Busta Rhymes performed.
Oh, absolutely.
So Busta brought out Coi Leray, and they did it together. He killed it. Busta did this new thing that I seen him do where he's rapping, and Spliff Star, which is his hype man, he comes up to Busta's mouth and like turns the volume down on his mouth, and then while Busta's rapping in that high tone, he starts going down, and it goes all the way down.
Nah, they've been doing that for a while.
Man, I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that at all.
Ain't new. I mean, I think the thing about Busta that's so dope is his energy level is unmatched, and he just has a air of showmanship that you can't teach.
Oh, because when they did the hip hop tribute on the Grammys, Busta killed it. Busta came out and shook it up, baby. Yeah. I said, "Come on, baby!" And they're doing a tribute for the BET Awards this year, right? I'm the first queen of BET. I'm the first trans woman ever to be on BET.
Really?
They should have me host it with you guys. I was the first one for real at Comic View 2004, and in 2005, Cheryl Underwood and I had a big spat on Comic View, highest rating Comic View of all the years.
Wow. Well, then when after Coi Leray got off, she had something to say for all the haters out there.
People talk every freaking day. Every day it's a hate on my dick. A new on my name of her mouth. Somebody got something weird. But the best thing that got me here is my team. And of course, number one, God. And you can't do it without them, period. So if you were selfish and you went on some, I'ma do it myself, don't be one of them.
And also what she said that I thought was dope is she was like, I'm always going to pay homage to the people that came before me. And she gave Busta Rhymes his flowers. And I thought that was dope as well. And that was Coi Leray. So that was the Something in the Water Festival.
Something in the Water.
Now, also last week, Usher was sitting down with Big Boy out in L.A. And they talked about how it would be if he did a Verzuz with Chris Brown.
When it comes to Verzuz, Chris Brown, Usher Verzuz.
Yep.
Would you have done or would you do something like a Verzuz?
Yeah, man, me and Chris will kill the world if we ever did something together like that. I'm not saying it's Verzuz, but I'm gonna just say this. If that ever happens, it'll be one of the biggest things that anybody has ever experienced in entertainment, in celebration of two people who love each other, because I love Chris. I don't like him. I don't like his music. I love his music. I love him. He's my little brother, and he's always been there for me, and I've always been there with him through hard ups and down times. I've been there with him, and for us to be able to celebrate what we do together, man, that'll be crazy. I'm gonna just leave it there.
Yeah, whatever y'all call it, whether it's a Verzuz or a celebration of love or whatever it is, Usher takes that, and Chris Brown is dope. But I keep trying to tell y'all, there's certain people catalogs you don't want to go up against because they got nuclear weapons. Usher got 20 nukes, bro.
I want to hear the music, but I want to see the dance battle between them because both of them brothers can get it. Both of them brothers can dance.
Chris will wash Usher with dancing, but
Usher can still Usher can move though, Envy, but Chris is a great dancer.
Chris, I mean, and Chris definitely. I think Chris probably got the upper hand when it comes to dancing. When we talking about songs, come on, man. And clearly, and Chris Brown puts on a great show.
Yep.
But clearly, Usher puts on a great show because everybody running to Vegas every weekend to watch Usher for how long now?
Months.
Like, stop playing with Usher, man.
Months.
Stop playing with Usher.
Usher, you make me want to leave the one I'm with. Hey.
Come on, nuclear. That's a nuke. That's a nuclear weapon. That is a nuclear bomb. When you play a record like You Make Me Want.
That's right. And lastly, Flame Monroe, you were in the rumor report that we seen over the weekend that a couple of days ago that your car caught on fire. Somebody tried to blow your car up.
Oh my God, I was attacked. Child, no, it was an electrical issue with the car, and my Jeep Wrangler is in the shop for the same thing. So they gave me a rental car, and a Grand Cherokee. It did the same thing. It's an electrical problem. I don't know what's going on with Jeep and Chrysler, but they better fix it.
What happened? One of your wigs caught on fire or something?
Because they said that there was 8 miles of wiring in these new cars. You know, all these chips, and if one chip bad, it could just mess up the whole car. The car just erupted in fire. If it hadn't been in my house, it would have burned up my house.
Where were you?
We were at Chris Spencer's 1 hour taping. Chris Spencer taped his 1 hour special for Netflix, and we were at the taping. And when we came out, the car was burned up.
Thank God you weren't driving. You weren't in it.
I thank God it wasn't at home. I hadn't left the dogs and ran in the store and left them in the car. Or my 16-year-old who won't go in the store, she'll just sit in the car. We don't know what happened. But you know what I want to give out? This is my positive message too with this. You never know where an angel is going to come from. So when I posted the picture, and I should have posted that it just was electrical, but we were waiting to get word from the fire marshals. Comedian Joe Coy inboxed me and say, "Hey, you okay?" And just sent me a couple of $1,000s for no reason. I said, "Oh, I don't need the money. I would like to go on tour with you. I really don't need the money." But it was just a gesture of the reason that I've never met Joe Coy. I have interviewed him on Laugh and Learn on my podcast that's with Black Effect Network, but I've never met him face to face to put a hug around him. And just for him to do that, and I'm telling you, so many comedians reached out. Donnell reached out. Dave Chappelle reached out. Are you okay? Do you need anything? And I was like, no, I'm good. It wasn't like that. But people thought that I was under attack, and the trolls and the haters made all these videos. Let me tell you why I never clap back at trolls or haters. Because if you ugly, there is nothing I can say to you that will hurt you more than you looking in the mirror and seeing the reflection that's looking back at you. There is nothing I can say that will hurt you more than you looking at your own face.
That's right.
So if you ugly, you will never get a rise from me. If you pretty, I might say something. But if you ugly, I wonder why I never clap back. I don't have to.
But what if I don't think I'm ugly?
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Sometimes you got to remind people. That's what the beauty of a good clapback.
But that ain't how you go at them. You attack the heart. Remember in Spider-Man, you don't get the person. You go after something they love. You go after your mama should have had selective cuckoo because she wouldn't have messed around with your daddy, and then you wouldn't have came out. You ain't mad at me. You mad at your mama for being so free.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, you can say you ugly. You got your mama's features.
And whoever she told you your daddy was, because good God.
All right. And that is your rumor report. All right.
Hey, catch me this weekend at Yonkers Comedy Club. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. I'm telling you right now, the dresses is nasty, the mouth is ignorant. I'm gonna be dripping. You might see a nipple. I'm just letting you know. You might see a nipple.
All
you
right.
might.
The People's Choice Mix is up next. We'll be back. Flame Monroe's not going anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.